Nicole. How's it going?
Good, how are you doing?
Good, thank you so much for asking.
No problem. Thanks for meeting with me. So how are things going? How was your holiday weekend?
Good. How about yours?
It was great.
Did you hang out with family?
Yes, ate a lot of turkey. What about you?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a lot of turkey, so.
Well, great. Oh, wow, that's an interesting screensaver you've got there.
Yeah.
Who's that? Is that your husband or your boyfriend?
Oh, no. Goodness, no. You know Jocko Willing?
I do.
Yeah, this is his stalker.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And he's my mentor as well, but, yeah, so, I just have that up there in case the authorities ever call and need a description of Jocko Stalker. I got it ready to go.
That's pretty handy. That sounds good. Well, again, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today.
Of course.
As I mentioned on the phone, I just wanted to come in and share some ideas. We've worked with other clients in the healthcare industry, so I mentioned St. Jude.
Yeah, that really piqued my interest.
Exactly. So I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about how we help them improve on their, document production, document management, also controlling and reducing the costs and the support per employee as it pertains to technology. So again, thanks for meeting with me. I just wanted to see if there's anything else you'd like me to cover.
I mean, those points right there were impressive to me. We definitely would like to make people more productive, and cost is always, we're always trying to be aware of our budget and keeping within it.
Perfect. So I just wanted to get started, ask you a few questions so I can kind of get to know your culture, your environment. And then from there, I wanted to get into just a little bit of background on SoCal.
Okay.
Who we are, what we've been able to do. Does that sound good?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, great. So if you don't mind, I was just going to jump into some questions I've prepared. Okay, great. So today in your business, what are kind of the top 3 initiatives for 2017?
I mean, they're probably not new for 2017, but HIPAA compliance is always a big concern of ours. I mean, I'm sure you've heard that, dealing with St. Jude's.
Right. Definitely.
Like I said, the budget, trying to control some costs. I think that's, in every department, that's, a big concern, but we're very print intensive.
Okay.
So, and there's not really a way to ever be paperless, even though, EMR and stuff, but, I would say the, budget, I'd say HIPAA compliance, and I would say, just kind of having a reliable, easy process.
Absolutely. Reliability is key. Okay, got it. And then so I know you said you guys are pretty print intensive. What are some of the ways that you're cutting costs? Are you cutting costs in that area, or what areas are you currently trying to cut costs?
We're trying to, like when we check in patients, we hope that everything's already on file. Sometimes, I don't know if you ever went to the doctor's office or hospital, you have to fill out all those forms, like allergy, all those things. We're looking into maybe doing some kiosk or having some sort of like iPad or something that they can use to check in, just so that it's a little bit quicker, because we want the patients to feel like they're getting checked in quickly, and then, if we can find something, maybe electric, I don't know.
Automating the process.
Yeah, doing something just to kind of make sure they're getting checked in quickly, and any area that we can maybe reduce print.
Okay.
I think it's a cultural thing too. I think everyone just prints out everything rather than even reading it on the screen.
Right.
Which is awful.
It's definitely a process, moving away from that and getting a little bit more digital. And you see it a lot in the medical field. A lot of the old school, doctors moving away from the way they normally do, writing written notes.
Yeah.
And, having everything printed out versus digital. So it's definitely a process. I think it's pretty standard for your industry. Great. So I was going to ask what state and or federal compliance, and I know we've already discussed a little bit about HIPAA compliance.
Yes.
Okay.
HIPAA compliance, and as I mentioned, we have an EMR system.
Yes.
So, I guess that's not really a compliance thing, but it's state regulated. They, made sure everyone had it by, 2014 probably.
Okay.
So we have our EMR system in place. It's Athena, if that matters. I don't know if you guys have worked with them before, but that's the 2 biggest ones. I mean, insurance billing, so that's a whole other monster itself, but, everything we code out, every note from the doctor, every prescription or whatever, all has to fit within the way insurance codes them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that that makes us any more or less paper intense.
Okay. And then, walk me through just some of the most critical documents you guys are printing and
Okay.
storing.
Lab results is a big one. We do have an in-house pathology lab. We have to print the results. We have to print them in color because
Mhm.
anything that has those kind of results on them have to be color. And I'm sure you probably know that's a little bit expensive. And then, especially, obviously, you see a little bit, advanced age patients and the people who come in most. So they're not as savvy to, see results or information online. I mean, they're the
Mhm.
ones that don't ever check in online first and fill out all that paperwork. They have to have a hard copy.
Right.
So, those kind of forms. And
Okay.
referrals, if we see a patient that needs to go to a different hospital or a surgery center, it's a lot of paperwork for them as well that we have to print out.
Okay, got it. And then you said you have your EMR system, so that's how your documents are currently being stored through the Athena system that you
Mhm.
use? Okay, got it. And then also, do you have paper files and storage where you
Yes.
keep those as well? Okay, how much?
I don't know which way you walked in, but
Uh-huh.
if you walked in, there's like a wall behind the receptionist. On the other side of that wall, it's almost like a library. I mean, it's the big old
Wow.
files that pull out. There's
So a lot of storage
yeah,
space.
it's a lot.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, we have to keep everything on record for like 7 years, and when we got the EMR system, it was moving forward. And we
Mhm.
implemented it, we really didn't go back and scan in old stuff, so we're still kind of holding on to information. Not everything for every patient is in the EMR system.
Okay, got it. And then, excuse me, how are you currently doing color, or what do you need color for in terms of the different things you're printing here
Mm-hmm.
in the hospital?
So as I mentioned, the pathology, like lab results, a lot of times
Okay.
in color, our logo, so letterhead and some of the stuff for the checking in the devices, for checking in the patients, and some of the information will have like a color letterhead that has a monogram on it and everything.
Okay, perfect. And then, do you ever have to print large format printing here?
No, everything's pretty
Nothing like
much
that.
the standard letter size.
Okay, perfect. And then what vendors are you using for your equipment?
So I think we've got, I don't know, I think it starts with an R. It's some big old clunker out there. Is our copier?
Rico?
Yeah, that's probably it.
Okay.
And then we've got kind of a lot. Oh, there it is now, yelling
Thought
at
I
us.
heard something.
So we have a couple of those big floor model ones.
Could that be your equipment that I hear now?
Yeah, I mean it jams quite a bit, and
Oh, it does?
yeah, I swear half the people that work here have like a personal grudge against it. It's so bad, but we have that, and then we have a whole bunch of printers,
Okay.
quite a few. Another happy customer.
Oh no, I wonder what's wrong with them. So, okay, you have Rico. About approximately how many devices the Rico?
There's big ones. There's probably about 7 or 8. I'm so sorry. Let me just check it real quick.
Okay.
Yes, this is Angela.
Hey, Angela, it's Doug.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, the computer's not working again.
Again, did you call the service guy?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them right now.
Okay, let me work on it when I can. As soon as I get out of this meeting, I'll see what we can do.
Okay, thanks, bye.
All right.
Oh wow, sounds like you guys maybe have some pain points there.
Yeah, I feel like I see that service guy more than I see my own family.
Oh wow, okay, I'm gonna note that. So you said 7 Ricos, but approximately how many of the desktop printers do you have?
Geez, there's probably just in this department, 9 here, and then, I mean, I'd have to go look through the other ones. It feels like everybody who has an office or a space that they sit at has a printer at it. So I would have to say at least 20 to 30.
Okay.
Gosh, that's a lot more than I was thinking.
Well, great. And that was the majority. And the last thing I really wanted to ask is, have you ever assessed this area of your business, the printing? Do you have a refresh strategy? Have you ever looked at how much you're spending on your current fleet? anything like that?
I
Ever
feel like for
analyzed?
how much those Ricos cost, that they should work a lot better, I tell you that, but,
Mhm.
no, I feel like you get a lot of invoices for, you know, the Staples receipts or the request to purchase toner at Staples,
Mhm. Oh,
all
okay.
the time. Luckily, there's one right down the street, because when we run out, we can just pop out, but it's pretty inconvenient.
Right.
Do you guys take care of stuff like that?
We do, we
Okay.
do. So that's part of what I wanted to discuss with you today. So, thank you so much for sharing all that information with me. So just so you have a little bit of background on us as SoCal Office Technologies, we're actually a wholly owned subsidiary of Xerox.
Okay.
And we're headquartered in Cypress, and we have been since 1977. So very close by, we're in Orange County.
Yeah, it's
Only took me about 10 minutes to get here. So it's great because we have kind of the best of both worlds. So we're a local presence in the community, but we're backed by this multi-billion-dollar company. So,
Yeah.
so it's great. And what we do is we specialize in co-authoring solutions. So very customizable to what your needs and your goals are.
Okay.
We have about 40 sister companies spread out through the U.S. So it's great because we can provide that high level support to any of your locations. Because I know you mentioned on the phone that you're affiliated with several other hospitals in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So that way we can provide that same level of support. Oftentimes, you know, when it comes to you supporting a national account, people will have to outsource service. It's all under global, so you get that same high level.
Okay, so it's all part of your company.
Exactly. So that's a
That
big
is nice.
differentiator. Yes. So we have that great support as well. That's in conjunction with the backing of Xerox.
Okay.
So just so you know a little bit about us. I also wanted to show you a little bit about what we've done for other customers. So I brought my iPad, excuse me.
It's a catchy tune.
Oh yeah. So
I know we all have to turn off our volumes here. Sorry about
yes. So basically, I wanted to tell you a little bit about what we've been able to do for other companies. You know, what we found is similar to your situation, where I would say approximately 90% of the accounts that we've worked with
that. Mhm.
do not know what they're spending on this area of the business.
Did it ever come out like that it's more than they think or less than they think?
It varies. A
Mhm.
lot of times, the reason why they don't know what it is because it's not its own line item. It kind of goes into a budget with the rest of the office technology.
Yeah.
So they don't know what they spend. So our idea is if you can't measure what you're spending, how can you control what you're spending?
That's a good point.
Yes, so what we would like to do, I just wanted to show you a little bit about what we've been able to do. And our goal here is really just to see what your current technology is like, what your expense is on that technology, and then we want to make you more cost effective and efficient.
Okay.
Okay, so I just wanted to start and show you an example of another hospital I worked with.
And you said it's Cypress is where you're?
Yes, Cypress is our headquarters. We do have those 40 sister companies across the U.S., but we also do have 8 branches in California.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so the closest one to you being Cypress, but we are also downtown LA, Woodland Hills, Ontario. We have Irvine and so on.
Okay.
So here is one sample.
Is it a map?
Yes, so the great thing is we're actually able to get a floor plan and map out all your devices.
Okay.
So it's really, really useful because it gives us a bird's eye view. This is actually an application that we developed in-house. This is a global application, so you won't see this anywhere else.
Okay.
So basically you'll see the pins, they're color-coded by device type. So it gives you a full layout and a full visual. So it's one thing to do an assessment and provide you with that data. It's another thing to visually see the data as well. So
Yeah.
you utilize a couple different methods to present to you. So we try to make you more productive by looking, you know, some devices are underutilized, some are overutilized. So we show you in their physical location, which ones
Okay.
are.
Like utilized, you mean just too much printing going on with
Yes.
them, basically?
So we'll look
Okay.
at some devices, maybe some are printing in excess, maybe more than those devices can handle, maybe some are not printing very much at all. And those would let us look at areas of possible consolidation, recommendations. The great thing is we can also keep things as is, but we'll give you a full solution.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
that makes sense.
So we'll work together and co-author. We collect all this data, and then you and I would sit down and go through it, and then come to the best solution for you.
Okay,
So this is our workflow app. I also brought a case study of the other hospital that I work with, so that you can see.
oh, wow.
So once we've gathered all of this data,
Mm-hmm.
we would put it together into a proposal binder for you, and then you can kind of flip through. So,
How much does this assessment cost?
oh, this is complimentary. So this is
Really?
a way for you to get to know our process, and it's our kind of our go-to-market strategy. It's how we get our foot in the door. You get to know SoCal and what we're about.
Okay,
So if you flip, there's a lot of great things, but I wanted to focus on our actual TCO spreadsheet. So you've got your visual with the map, which will also be included in here, and then we also have an actual spreadsheet that lays out your full inventory, your makes and
okay, I
models.
see, this is location of
Yes,
devices.
you can see where everything's located, listed out,
Okay,
and then you'll see the volumes and all the costs associated with it. So this is a sample of another healthcare client that I have.
oh wow, look how much they're spending, that's really how much they spend?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
And on
wow.
average, we can save about 20 to 30%.
Okay.
It's hard to know without doing the actual assessment, so this gives us all the data we need. If you keep flipping, you'll see I've included the maps that I showed you in the proposal,
Okay,
and this assists us with coming up with our recommendations.
okay,
So lots of data, so we have educated recommendations, because at this point, we now understand your environment, and you and I come to a conclusion together. So-
that makes sense.
So that's kind of our case study. So you have the mapping, you have our actual proposal. And then the last thing I wanted to go through was our timeline. And this is basically how we map out all of the different steps to the assessment. So if you'll look here, today we've already completed step one. You got to kind of demo our workflow app, so I got to show you how we lay everything out.
Okay,
All that requires is a floor plan. So you've been able to see it, so we've already accomplished that today. So I'm gonna put that on here. The next step is we actually have a 360 application that we would install, and it's great because it actually electronically collects your meters. So that's the way that we're able to measure your volumes, is we manually do a walkthrough and collect meters.
and have you installed this at other, like, hospitals and
Yes.
it's HIPAA compliant, there's no?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So St. Jude Hospital has this installed on their network. It's a great tool. It actually helps us with them. They have so many devices, it helps us to manage them.
Okay,
And for pre-sales, so during this assessment process, we use it to collect those meters. So instead of having to do 2 walkthroughs, we may just need to do 1.
okay.
So if we could get that installed today, is there a person in IT who can install it, or can you?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully with whatever's going on with that copier, he's not too busy, but I bet we can talk to Mike and he'll be able to do it.
Perfect, so we can get that, would he be available today? We'll go walk over there.
Yeah, I
Okay,
can go take you over there.
great. So next, we have the physical walkthrough, so would that be you or Mike to walk me through?
Probably Mike. I mean, he would know. I'm kind of guessing where everything is because you said you need to see like every printer copier,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
So he handles. Unfortunately, he handles a lot of that. So he probably knows where every one of them is.
okay, great. So maybe we can also get a floor plan from Mike and then start that first walkthrough. And this first walkthrough is where we would map similar to how I just showed you.
Oh, how long does it usually take?
It doesn't take very long, probably less than a minute a printer.
Oh, okay.
So we would just kind of get that floor plan once it's loaded. We just kind of hit all of them. It's really quick
Okay.
and easy.
That sounds good.
And it'll help if we have the app installed. So capturing cost data. So the way that we create the more accurate analysis is collecting all of those invoices. So for the copiers, it would be your lease agreement. For the printers, any toners, service calls, replacements, parts, things like that.
Okay.
So you being the CFO, would you have access to that information?
I would probably just reach out to Betty. She's gonna have all of that for me.
What would be a realistic time frame I could capture those in?
What is it? It's Wednesday. I'm assuming by the end of the week she can get that too.
By
That would
Friday?
work. Yeah, I
Okay.
know she probably has it all. She's very organized. It's all together somewhere.
Okay, perfect. So I will follow up with you or Betty to get that.
Yeah, I'll
would be
give you her
best.
email address, then you can just email us both on Friday or call, and see if you haven't got it yet, and I'll make sure to reach back out to her.
Okay, great. So at this point in the assessment, we have completed the first walkthrough, we've captured those costs. We also have another phase that's called proof of concept. This is where we would demo equipment. So as I'm walking through and collecting this information, as we're co-authoring together, it would be great if I could let you try out some of our equipment and make sure it's the right fit for you. There's two ways we can do that. We could put one on site and you try it out for free.
Okay.
Yes, it's just to make sure it fits in your environment as we're together co-authoring a solution. So that we could schedule for maybe after the second walkthrough, because it sounds like everything's on the network, we may not need a second walkthrough. So I can electronically capture it. Maybe we could schedule that.
Would we have to wait? I mean, because if this, depending on what's going on with this copier, sometimes it takes days and days for somebody to come out and fix
Oh,
it.
absolutely. If that copier, yeah, why don't we put one out here so you don't have to worry about waiting for a service call?
Okay,
I can get one out here in the next 2 days. I can
Okay,
get one out.
that would be great.
Perfect. Okay, so we may be able to
We're flying
eliminate
through
the,
it.
yeah. So the second walkthrough, let's just eliminate that. You told me that is it your entire fleet is on the network?
Yeah, that just means you can kind of, there's no wires to it except for the power cord.
It means that actually multiple users can print to it?
Yeah, for the most part. I know
Yes.
there's no like cords besides the power cord in any of them, and most of them like 2 people use. Most of them are right between 2 cubicles or like.
So, okay.
There's a couple in individual offices. I don't have one, but I'm pretty sure everything's networked because I know I've
Okay.
sent over to their office.
Okay, perfect. So I'll run the meter report. If I have to come back for 1 or 2, I could do that with, you said Mike.
Mm-hmm.
So I will reach out to him, but for now, we'll assume that I'm gonna collect all those meters. So we should be able to have our validation, I would say today is the 30th, within the next, like, less than 2 weeks. So what?
Really?
Yeah, probably about 2 weeks we could do.
Okay.
So would the 14th work for you?
Let me look at my schedule. Can you do the morning on the 14th?
Yeah, what about 9:30?
Perfect.
Okay.
Now, would we want probably Mike there just to
Yes,
kind of verify?
And that was exactly. So so you being the CFO, is there anybody else that's gonna be involved in this decision?
Mike deals with everything now, so I know whatever comes up, he'll probably still pay a part of.
Okay.
So I would want him to be there because ultimately I don't have to deal with it every day. I mean, that was him with the call a minute ago. So
Yeah.
I only hear about it when he's very frustrated, but typically it's him. So let's make sure he's there too.
Okay, great. So you, myself, and Mike will meet together. We'll co-author solution. I'll present the findings that we got from our walkthrough. Everything we've collected from the 360 application, everything we've mapped out.
Okay.
We'll go through that together and let's figure out a solution together. And then I can present that to you maybe about a day or 2 later. So
That'd be perfect. That's right before we meet for next year's budget, and
Great.
if we could come in with some good
let's
info.
do the 16th,
Perfect.
11, 9,
What did you say? 9:30?
9:30 for the validation.
Okay.
So we could do
And then the next.
same time, 9:30.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, do you have any questions so far?
I still can't believe all this stuff is free. That's pretty
Yeah.
awesome. I'm a little scared. I
Absolutely.
saw the cost for that hospital. It looked like it was about half the amount of equipment. It was huge. So now I'm excited.
It'll
but
be
scared.
eye-opening.
Yeah, it will for sure. I mean, I know. Like I said, I see a lot of have to sign off on some invoices and stuff, and it seems like it's getting up there. So
And yeah, I think it's going to be really, really beneficial to you guys. And so what I'm going to do next, I'm just going to initial right here. So this is my commitment to you that I'm going to conduct this assessment, provide you with this data.
okay.
If you wouldn't mind just signing right here, because that means I just kind of have your endorsement as I work with Mike and work with Betty.
Okay.
I know that you're involved in this as well.
Yeah, and I'll shoot out an email with you on there and them, just so you have their contact info, and then that way they know that, I'll introduce you today, but that way they'll know that they're working with you and you don't get any pushback.
Perfect. So would you like to go meet up with Mike so we can get the app installed? And
Yeah, and let's look at
let's
this.
check out that
Yeah, this
copier.
old junker and see what's going on.
Great.
Perfect, thanks so
All right,
much.
I'll follow you. Show me the way. Okay, well,
They should have walked that way.
I don't think